I come, Lord, I come, I come, Lord, I come to tell you I love you, to tell you I need you, to tell you there's no better place for me than in your arms, to tell you I'm sorry for running in circles, for placing my focus on the waves, not on your face. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. So I come, Lord, I come, I come, Lord, I come to tell you I love you, to tell you I need you, to tell you there's no better place for me than in your arms, to tell you I'm sorry for running in circles, for placing my focus on the waves, not on your face. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace in the storm. In the storm. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I love that intro. Stephanie does such a good job. Just the words, right? Like, Ben, you're the only one that gives me peace. Even though I'm forgetful, even though, I stumble, I fall, um, you're always there. You always remind me, and you help me to stand. I just love it. Let's say hi to some folks. Guys, we're going to be in Psalms 119, verses 161. We're almost there. We're almost at the end of this thing. 161 through verses 168. So go grab your Bibles while I'm saying hi to some folks. But yeah, we got about 13 people on right now. 10 of those are out there on X. And so let's say hi to some people. We got Chuck B in the house. Good morning, sir. King Gooch, good morning. Bert Reggiani, Dave Donnelly, good morning. Pastor Tom, good morning to you. And Trish, good morning, everybody. And we also have Connie down in Greendale. Good morning. So, yes, I'm going to pull up these verses for you. So normally Let me pull it up first. All right. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of in the way, guys. I wish I could. Can't really move it without making it. Anyways, all right. So, anyways, okay, that's better. I'm still on the way, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Oh, you know what? I think I can do this. There we go. I gotta I gotta get better at with this technology. Anyways, let's do this. Uh, we're almost to the end of this song, and normally I'll read all the way through it, and then I'll jump back to the top and we'll go verse by verse. But today let's just go verse by verse, and we'll talk about each verse. Um, yeah, as we go along. And so it says, princes persecute me without cause, but my heart stands in awe of your word. Whew, come on, guys. And so, like, I want to be interjected and talking through each verse a little bit. But I would love it if you guys would comment, and join into the conversation. Comment like what is kind of popping out at you when it comes to these verses as well. And so princes and precepts, sorry, princes persecute me without cause, but my heart stands in awe of your word. And so what pops out at me with verses like this are really just that in life there's always these people, or there's always situations where people are trying to get our attention, right? Everything like that's media, that's marketing, like people are trying to grab your attention, trying to get your focus onto them, right? And there's fear tactics, there's pleasure tactics, there's all kinds of different methods and model or kind of strategies to try to get your attention, right? And focus in on you. And I just love this psalmist, right? Because he's like, hey, princes persecute me, like these things in the world are coming at me, like princes, like these are like rulers, these are leaders, like people worship these people. People like these guys are idols for some, right? And they persecuted me, and yet it was just like, you know what? I'm just in all of your word. like I see you. I get it. You're trying to pressure me. You try to do whatever. I get it, but my attention is already won. I'm focused over here. Like God has my heart. God has my attention. God has my all. Like I am in awe of your words. And I just love that. Like that his focus, is fixed, and it can't be shaded. It can't be moved over to other things. It doesn't matter the pressures of the world. It doesn't matter the strategy of the enemy. Like he's not getting my attention. He's not getting my focus, because my focus is fixed and locked on Christ. And I just love that, right? And so he says, I rejoice at your word, like one who finds great spoil. And it's just that same thing, right? Like I'm in awe of your word. And so it's like almost like I'm a spoils of war, right? Like I'm rejoicing, like I just got a huge treasure. Like I got all this stuff. Like I'm actually in awe. Like I'm seeing not just in who you are, but I'm seeing the benefits of it. I'm seeing the results. I'm seeing it's like I am, yeah, like I'm rejoicing as if I just gained this spoils of war, right? Like all this stuff was left here, and I get to take whatever I want, right? Like I just have this. Yeah, like that's what he's saying. Like I rejoice at your word, like one who finds a great spoil. And there's so many times, right? Like even as us believers, like on a Sunday morning with Pastor Tom preaching a message, or we hear another pastor preach, and there's these nuggets that come on, like, oh my goodness, like this is directly from the Lord to my heart. Like this is awesome. And sometimes it happens to us when it's just us in our Bible, right? Like in the secret place, and we're just reading scripture, and man, this nugget of truth just comes, and it's just like, oh my goodness, I'm holding on to this forever. But then, as spoils of war, or spoil, like it makes me think of war. And so like sometimes it's in the midst of a battle, right? Like we're going through a hardship, we're going through, like we're being persecuted, we're being whatever. And then God releases this truth to our hearts, and man, we hold on to that thing, and it's just like, oh my goodness, like in the midst of all this stuff, like he showed up, and I'm gonna hold on to this thing, like I'm gonna rejoice over this thing because God showed up, and so I rejoice over your word, like one who finds a great spoil. And then let's go to 63 and 163. I hate and abhor falsehood, but I love your law. And so this one, it makes me think about, man, like, oh my, I'm messing up, y'all. Whoop. There we go. All right. Might as well just move this so I don't have to touch it no more. All right. There we go. I hate and abhor falsehood, but I love your law. And so I think about how, just for me personally, like I hate when I'm seeing people, or when people lie, like when people lie to my face, or like if that's like with media or politicians or whatever, like if I know like this person is blatantly lying, man, it just makes me so angry. Like it makes me, like, I love truth. I think all of us, like, we have this desire, like we love truth, and truth resonates, right? And so even for me, my personal journey to the Lord, right? Like after this kid comes and preaches his gospel to me and my roommate, we fast forward. I'm in my room. My mom's telling me, "You got to go to church. You got to go to church." And I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. But I'm at the end of myself, and I just cry out to the Lord, and I say, God, if you're real, I want to know you, like that kid knew you, right? Like the kid who came and preached to me, like he actually knew God. Like that was fixed in my brain, like just his eyes. It was like he believed what he said. And I said, God, if you're real, I want to know you like that kid knows you. But if this is fake, right? This was my cry. Like if this is fake, if this is just me giving some jokers some money every week, like I'm done calling myself a Christian. I don't want to be. I want to be real. I want whatever I'm saying. If I'm saying I'm a Christian, like I want to actually be a Christian. If I'm saying I'm this, then I want to actually be that. And so like at that moment, I was seeking out for truth, right? And that's why I'm convinced if you actually seeking for truth, there's no way you don't end up with Christ. There's no way you don't end up with Jesus. And so if there are people in your life, a little evangelism tip, there's people in your life who are searching, right? They're agnostic. They're not sure what's out there. They're still searching. Just be encouraged, because there's no way, if they're actually searching for truth humbly, then there's no way they don't end up with Christ. But anyways, back to the text. And so like I was searching, right? Like and I saw something, like or I experienced God, because He is truth. He's the only truth. And so we hate falsehoods. I think that's just part of our human nature. We hate things that are false, but we love truth. We love your law. We got angry eyes. I don't know what's happening back there. Right. 7 times a day I praise you for your righteous rules. Can you shut the door, buddy? Thank you. 7 times a day I praise you for your righteous rules. And man, I wish that was like all of our testimony. That 7 times a day, man, I'm praising the Lord, I'm worshiping the Lord, I'm spending time, I'm seeking Him. I wish that was our testimony. I wish that was my testimony, but sometimes it's not, right? Like there's days that I probably don't even pray or worship, and I don't want that to be. It shouldn't be that way. And so let this be a challenge to us that to get on our face at least one time a day, like lifting up petitions and praise to the Lord. And so he says 7 times a day, I praise you for your righteous hand, your righteous rules. And so we just look around, like there's no way we can spend 24 hours a day without experiencing the goodness and the favor of the Lord. And so let's look for it. And so whenever we recognize it, whenever we say, man, that's the Lord right there. Let's give Him praise. Let's glorify Him for His many blessings. And also just for who He is. That He is a gracious, loving Father that is in a constant pursuit after a deeper relationship with all of us. Right? It doesn't matter if we're one day old in Jesus or we're 35, 50 years old in Jesus. He's still pursuing us. He's still wooing us. And so let us respond to that love. 7 times a day. That would be awesome. Great peace have those who love your law. Nothing can make them stumble. And that's just a beautiful promise that is so true, been tested and proven over and over and over again throughout generations. But great peace have those who love your law, right? And so what is this talking about? To me, it talks about how it doesn't matter. It's like we might not be spared from trauma or situations, but that God's in the midst of it, and like if we stay focused and our eyes stay fixed on Him, it doesn't matter if there's an earthquake around us, we won't stumble, we won't waver, because the only thing that's constant is Him, and so. He gives you peace that surpasses understanding, right? Circumstances tell us that we should be pulling out our hair. In my case, I can't because it's already gone. But circumstances tell us that man, like we should be stressed out. We should be worried. We should be, being consumed. But when the world looks at us, it was like, how are you going through that? And with a smile on your face, how are you going through that? And it doesn't look like you're being fazed at all. And it's because the peace that surpasses understanding, because our eyes are fixed on Him. That's how we're walking on the water. It's not us. It's not our strength that's keeping us above, but it's actually our gaze on Him. And so God, it becomes our sustaining force, and He gives us that peace, right? And so peace, great peace, and not just peace. I love that. It's not just peace. It's not like we're just all right. We're surviving. We're okay. No, it says great peace have those who love your law. Nothing can make them stumble. Man, that's so good. And verse 166, I hope for your salvation, O Lord, and I do your commandments. And I love this, right? Like, so in the Old Testament, man, they're looking forward towards the cross, and us, we're looking back towards the cross. Where the cross is the central focus of all of it. Jesus gave us salvation. Like Jesus made a way for us to be back with the Father. He tore the veil so that we can enter in and spend time with the Father 24/7, 365. Like we can have audience with the King. Like we have a right to be there. And not just a right, but it's actually a desire of the Father that we would draw close and draw near. That He wanted a kingdom of priests from the very beginning. Like He wants us close. He wants us close to Him, and at His feet. And so we can look forward, yes, we can bask in our salvation, be at the finished work of Christ at the cross. Come on, what a beautiful thing. 167. My soul keeps your testimonies. I love them exceedingly. And I'm always testifying. I'm always talking about just the goodness of the Lord and the things I've got to experience. And it's so good to hold on to those testimonies, right? In the old days, they called them Ebenezer's, right? These remembrance stones. Throughout the Old Testament, you see these. Everybody is making these altars, right? And they're building up these altars, especially the children of Israel. And so when they would come back to a place, like God would do something and then they'll build an altar and then they will go. But then every single time that they will pass that altar, it will be this remembrance of like, man, remember when God did this, right? And sometimes it's the same people who are passing by, but sometimes it's generations after, right? And they're like, hey, remember, my dad used to tell me about this time where God delivered them, where he parted the Red Sea, right? And it's these remembrance stones, these Ebenezer's. And so my soul keeps your testimonies. And so like, it's so good to keep the testimonies and the personal history that we have with Christ and all those moments where he showed up and showed out, that we can keep those close to our hearts. And so it doesn't matter what situation we go through next. We know, man, God's been faithful here, here, and here. Why wouldn't he be faithful here? And so it's so good to keep those testimonies close to our hearts. And then I keep your precepts and testimonies for all my ways are before you. I keep your precepts and testimonies for all your ways are before me. Man, like I'm fixed. And not only do I keep my own personal testimonies in my heart, but they're set before me, right? They're like that guiding stone, right? The testimonies in your word, the testimonies that I've experienced, like they're my tuning fork. Like I know when I'm getting off, I'm like, whoa, I gotta keep these things in the forefront of my mind. I'm like in a pursuit. Not only have I experienced them, but I'm also in pursuit of them, in pursuit of more of them. Pursuit of more of them. I want more testimonies. I want to, because you've been faithful in my past. Therefore, I'm going to take risk as if you're going to show up in the future, because I know you're faithful and you're never changing. And so if you showed up yesterday, you're going to show up tomorrow. And so I'm putting all my eggs in that basket, right? I'm not going to, like Pastor Tom was talking about the other day, I'm not going to store up who was the doctor? I don't even know who I was talking to, but I'm not gonna be like the children of Israel and try to gather up all this manna because I know it's gonna spoil, right? I'm just gonna trust and have faith in you that you're gonna show up tomorrow, like you said you would, right? It's not. I'm not just putting this on you. You actually promised. You actually said you're gonna show up, and so I trust you. You've given me no room or reason to doubt. And so why would I waver? Man, so powerful. And I would encourage you to be here tomorrow, because I'm not going to jump forward. I'll let Pastor Tom do it. But the way the psalm ends is just beautiful. And like there's a prayer at the very end that is just so good. But we're going to talk about it tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. I got to jump off here, man, because we got to go live for prayer. And so Pastor Tom is going to be with you in just about 10 minutes live at 9 for some prayer. I hope this was a blessing for you. I hope this was an encouragement to you. I know it blesses me, but his word is so good. It's so edifying, right? And so let us be like the psalmist, and let us 7 times a day praise, send up our praises and petitions to the Lord, because he's good. And there's going to be way more than 7 times each day that we're going to be a beneficiary of his goodness and his pursuit after us. And so let us rejoice always and give him praise and thanks. That's it, y'all. See you later. Bye. Peace.